Welcome back to Russian Madness, Session 7. Last session, this group returned back from the Black Spear, and they have reintegrated themselves in the town, were planning on doing some things, and then a skyship fell out of the sky, crashing into the farm that they were going to visit, and killing the family therein. There was some conflict after with Denisov and scouts. Fortunately, no one in the group was too terribly harmed, um, except for I think except for Glint.
I mean, I was nearly dead and then almost impaled through the skull.
Oh, there was that too. Yeah, sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so people got. It,
Yeah, you know.
it was fun.
There's
Do
a
I
couple
really count as a
ouchies.
person, is what you're saying? Wow. Okay.
Oh
I
no
didn't
no no
really
no
do
no no.
much.
Jesus.
That's not what I was
Wow.
saying. Oh, everybody's in the wrong space. I love these games. They are the best. These are the most fun games.
Oh yay, I'm Tom. Oh.
Nope. Nope.
I'm Zach.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Everybody's right.
Oh.
But yeah.
Oh, look, I'm Glenn.
Immediate aftermath. You watch as Albrecht and the others stop the ones that were escaping very quickly. But yeah, it's now just kind of in the aftermath of that. It looks like you have a bit of breathing room without the issue of having people come down your throat, wondering what you're doing here like they did last session. But a couple of things have happened in the last few moments that time has kind of passed here. You would note that the sky ships that I mentioned that appear to have been the culprits regarding dropping this Denisotvan skyship out of the sky are now kind of turning northward. They haven't moved out from over the Stoutwood to this location, and as you kind of look in the direction that they seem to be kind of maneuvering or angling towards, you would see that there is a much larger skyship coming down from the mountains, kind of ominously descending through the clouds in that same position. Like they're turning to face it. But this is the wells of a distance off, like quite a far distance away. So you're just kind of seeing it from, below.
And it's facing towards us now?
No, not you.
No.
So the three conglomerate ships
They're
appear to
facing
have
north.
turned northwards, and
Yeah.
that's where the mountain is. And
Yeah.
descending down from the mountain is a very large skyship, which is of Denisotvan make.
Oh, okay.
Castia will be heading over to where, we'll say, our patient was left behind once things started getting chaotic.
Okay. He's still unconscious. Definitely not good. But he is kind of breathing. Still looks quite a bit broken. You did do a little bit of healing on him, but he definitely looks like he needs to kind of get somewhere a bit more comfortable for him to be able to spend a long rest, getting back to health.
The captain's quarters are always in the back of the ship, right?
Yeah, so not knowing much about this skyship, what you'll notice is that the interior, there is a deck underneath that has, like right beneath the part of the ship that you can see, there are actually two decks. So it looks like the clear bottom of it, there might have been something beneath that point, but it's gone. And then the decks that you're kind of seeing, it looks like everything inside was kind of storage, but has been kind of broken up and destroyed. It looks like it's mainly very kind of solid metal orbs, which you would know is shot for cannon fire, which the cannons would have been on the lower portion of the deck and the ballistas on the top portion of the ship.
Okay.
There's also a mechanism for the angling wings, which are the things that you can kind of see scattered all about. There's core support for the front mount blade, and then directly underneath the front high deck, there is the mechanism which has kind of apparatus that goes back towards the back of the ship, but kind of breaks off in the middle, obviously. That appears to have been the steering mechanism. So steering on the skyship's done from the front.
Okay. Alright. There wouldn't be any like cartographers maps near.
No, so
there?
navigation would probably be towards the back of the ship.
Hmm.
Yet.
And it blew up because the engine's also in the back of the ship.
Yeah.
And it was way back there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, where it hit, it kind of came down like butt
Cracked in
first,
half and
hit,
then
detonated, and then launched the front portion forward, which caused it to slam into the family. Jonah.
Sometimes that's just how it happens, I guess.
That's how it be. It is what it is.
Just
it would be like that.
reflecting back on it, it's like you're thinking back to the horror show that I described last session. Hopefully you all took notes, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
I don't know.
I remember that Elizabeth found a dagger and a statue.
No, it was a dagger in a bag.
Yeah.
Oh, in a bag. Okay.
Uh,
But there was an Octavian statue in there.
Yeah, just like a shrine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It was on
Built it too
the
far to destruction.
bottom floor.
From the top of the ship.
Right.
Is there a way to get down?
So there are ropes. There are some ropes that are actually near the ballistas. Being a combative individual, a person who fancies themselves a tactician, skyships are not unknown to you. So you'd understand several of the mechanisms of skyship combat. The reason why ballistas are loaded on the top and there's cannons in the bottom, the ballistas are fired across to hit the wooden decks or hit, the softer portions of opposing ships, and then are reeled from ropes connected to the bolts to draw them closer together to allow for swinging over to the other ship and kind of locking them in space. The more notable of these, they'll actually have a device where it's a ballista bolt that's fired with no rope, and settled inside of it are a number of immovable rods. So when it hits, it locks and rips the hole out.
Are those bolts present?
No. They don't have that shit.
Okay.
So
Outstanding move.
can I know it would take a while, but is there any way we could remove these ballistas and save them for a later date just in case?
It's
Like
not.
for war?
It's not impossible. It looks like of them, 4 are operational. The ones towards the back, probably not.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the ones towards the front there.
Okay.
You would know that they are quite heavy. And
Yeah, it would
there's
take
really
a lot of people.
There's really no way for you, because normally a skyship will pull into a dock and have like a level access, but you're about 20 or 30 feet above because you got thrown up there. You're about 30 feet up, so you can go down on a rope, but like the heavy ballista, like you can push it towards like the edge with the broken end and just drop it into the soft dirt. Like your options of getting it down from here are limited.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it alone. I'd
Sure.
wait. If Albrecht shows up, then
He's
I'll
not-
tell him.
He's not coming this way.
He's not. Yeah.
You literally see them like, pushing the Blusa like into like what appears to have been a pit they already had manufactured in the backyard, and they're dragging the rider into the house or into the inn. Like
That's
So
fair.
fucking Smart.
it's literally like a 30-second operation. Murder, drag away. Like if the patrols
Yeah.
come this way, they're not going to look at them at all. They're going to worry about you guys.
That's
Man, I
fair.
really like Albert.
He's a smart lad.
He's-
Really
He
like
is.
that guy.
Yes. I mean, the best we could do right now is just hide him in one of these houses, but they might check him, so we're just gonna leave him here. And
Not
then,
leaving. We're not leaving this guy here.
No,
Oh,
no,
you're
no,
talking about the
not guy,
ballistas. Okay.
yeah.
How are the sheep dealing with this?
Oh, they're fine.
Okay.
They're being sheep.
Like there was
The ones
probably a
that
moment where
made
they were
it.
like, yeah, there are definitely several that have probably were in the path, but there are many more who are just like we're eating grass, spooked for a second, and then kind of realized everything's like not a problem now because it's over.
Went back to eating grass.
Loud noise
Yeah.
stopped. Great.
Did any of them do that thing that sheep do when they get startled?
No, it's not all sheep that do that, and it's goats.
That's
you're thinking.
also goats.
Oh, that's
Fainting-
goats?
Yeah, that's fainting goats, and it's really bad for them. It's a congenital heart defect.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, you
It's
fucking
funny.
monster.
The more you know.
But it's funny.
This
so I don't
whole-
give a shit.
Funny until they die at 2 years old.
For my fucking
of
laughter?
a heart attack.
I'm for it.
John. Oh
This whole time I thought that was a cute defense mechanism.
no.
This whole time.
That's the worst defense mechanism ever.
True.
Play dead.
Well, it's playing dead. It's the same thing possums do, except
Yeah,
it doesn't
playing
hurt
dead
possums.
is a good one.
Yeah, that's what they recommend if you can't run from a bear.
True.
Okay.
No, I live by
I
by
would wrestle
Don't
with
DMX.
give advice.
My last tactic on that is my tactic for not getting in a fight with a bear is just never go outside.
It
I live-
works.
I live by DMX's wise words. If you hear me fighting in the woods, help the bear.
No, I thought it was gonna be stop, drop, open up shop, but
Also,
Whatever.
wise words.
True.
And what he's trying to do with these fucking ballistas. What he's trying to
Can somebody help Castia get this poor injured man to the tavern or Balfield's Fall?
Is
We're
Glenn
gonna get
still
a
stuck
wheelbarrow.
underneath a blusa?
Yeah, but you get out. It's not like you're. Yeah,
Okay.
It's not like you can suffocate,
right.
That
was
is true.
I don't have a. Yeah, I do. Okay, I would be willing to help you carry the guy.
okay.
I'll help.
We're just gonna dump him in a
I
wheelbarrow.
can carry all kinds of stuff. I'm a dwarf.
There is a wheelbarrow. That's
Yeah.
something you do have access to here.
We're gonna
Can we
lighten the
pile
load.
a couple of things on top so we kind of hide them.
Yes,
That's a
we
good
can.
idea.
We can put some hay on him.
Just in case the patrols, it looks like there might be a couple of eyes on here.
We should put some hay on him. Is that right? Is that the right accent? We should put some hay on him.
It's
Uh,
whatever accent you
I
want
don't
it to be, dog.
Yeah.
know.
Astrogoth, is they're worried about the wounded and kind of dealing with all of that, and you're kind of
Yep.
keeping an eye out on the situation, probably skyward. You see that the larger ship kind of descends to a point where it's kind of level with the Conglomerate 3. And they seem to be approaching, but it seems that they're not doing so in a... It doesn't look like they're flying very fast. It looks like they're probably faster than they're currently
Coasting?
moving. It almost looks like they're kind of just trying to pick the battleground, for lack of a better term, or pick the area where the fight begins.
Mhm.
So these are
there's-
the conglomerate ships.
Yeah.
And-
The three conglomerate ships.
The
and
large
one
craft.
gigantic Denisovan one.
As it gets down to that level, as I mentioned, you hear kind of everybody would hear kind of a faint sound, and as you're looking at it, Astrogoth, what you see is a large kind of bluish beam kind of streak out towards the conglomerate ships and hit one.
Ooh, late show.
At the hit, you can see a very large kind of detonation, and those of you out here after he sees it, maybe a good, 12 seconds or so, just giving you an idea of the distance they are away, you'd actually hear the sound of it kind of crash against the area. That's kind of like a low boom sound. The conglomerate ship goes down in a ball of flame. And after that shot, whatever it is that happened in the very large craft that happened, the two conglomerate ships start to dive and then seem to kind of fade away as if they're sinking into something and disappear completely.
Sure. All right. Yeah, we're gonna haul ass.
The large Denisovan ship's now over the Stoutwood, and it seems it's kind of like holding position over where the conglomerate ship crashed, the one it shot down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're gonna haul ass to the Rusty Blade Inn.
Okay. And I just want to make sure the size of these ships is kind of put into scale, so we understand what we're looking at. So the
I mean,
ships,
that's half of one.
right? The conglomerate, that's half of one, and that's half of a smaller one. The conglomerate ships are probably about the same size as this, so they probably have a good, 200-300 foot length, right? The larger ship, however, is probably about the size of Midtown, like in its
Damn.
entirety, just to make you understand how big the craft that just descended over or down the mountains and over the woods is. So,
And
again,
this is like quite a ways off.
yeah. So remember, it
Yeah.
took you hours to walk in through the stout wood, and there was more of it to the more north and more of it to the south. It's kind of like a heavy amount of forest there. This appears to be happening kind of out that way, not near the Black Spear, just like up north and out that way.
Okay.
Better part
I
of,
doubt the Wergar would be in any position to investigate, so but we might ask them if they know anything about that next time we visit them. Not really in any condition to go off exploring right now.
Okay.
Lent wants to find somewhere to sit down and maybe take a nap.
Well, Orlandus and Balgar throw the wounded man, not throw, but like gently place the wounded man into a wheelbarrow, cover him up with just some light amount of hay, more or less thatching that came off of the roof when the tree smashed that side of it, and cover him up neatly, and then start moving away from the farm. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move us back to Midtown. Changing the music pace, but the presumption is that you all move back towards the Rusty Blade. Is that a fair assumption, or do you want to go somewhere else?
That's fair. I'm heading back to the Rusty Blade.
Yeah,
Castro
Rusty
will be-
Blade.
And when you get there, where do you want to take the gentleman?
To the Rusty Blade.
Well, yeah, he's in the Rusty Blade, but you
Yeah.
remember the Rusty Blade has like it's what's called a building, and so in its interior it has walls, and those walls separate into different rooms.
We're taking him
That's-
downstairs.
Okay.
To the basement, yes. Where we've had secret discussions before, so it's at least somewhat.
And now he's our secret prisoner.
Yeah.
Until he wakes
I mean,
up.
if the Denisovans are shooting down those ships, we probably just don't want him, weekend at Bernie's sitting at a table. Just
That's fair.
that would be funny though. Maybe we should do that.
It's a great film.
Next time.
I'd argue great series of films.
You don't know what Weekend at Bernie's is. You just woke up like last week.
What?
Talking
Yeah.
about cast, yeah.
Oh. Like, good sir. I'm 90.
Fucking youngin.
I was born before time. You don't know me.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
shit.
head into the basement, and there you'll find quite a few folks, members of the agitators, and Roll20 is already starting in on me, and we love that for them.
Already starting with the shits.
You gotta be fucking kidding me right now.
Are my retainers okay?
Yeah, they're upstairs.
Okay.
They
Okay.
maintain, your area. They have nothing new to report. But yeah, when you're down there, everybody, you would see that there's other people present. As you come down with a wounded individual, kind of leaving the wheelbarrow up outside and bringing him down the stairs, Albrecht sees you and kind of curious, and it looks like, the Anusha and Karis kind of move over and help. Hasanti. So Hasanti and Anusha kind of move over to help. They seem to have access to a hammock down here, and they kind of get it set up and kind of set to a cot setup instead of just kind of free hanging, and they offer that as a place to put him.
Okay. Alright, so Orlandus would tell Albrecht exactly what happened and where and how we found this man.
Okay. Do you know anything about what's happened regarding that? I mean, we haven't come out. We're probably not going to come out. As he kind of gestures over to the man they have down here as well. Him not so.
Comfortably placed.
He doesn't look conscious or alive. You can't tell for certain. But there is definitely a large laceration in his side.
Is that Dennis Sotvin or is it one of ours?
Dennis Sotvin. Looks like the
Okay.
guy that pulled off the blue side.
Okay, that's kind of what I think.
Is he a viable target for my vampiric bite?
If you're just
Like
going to
a
walk
snack?
past everybody and start eating a person in the middle of common
Whoa.
company, you certainly
No,
welcome to
I was
do
being-
that.
I was being cheeky.
That's absolutely an option, I guess. But yeah, again,
Remember, Albrecht has that shiny scimitar.
Clint,
What?
Clint,
That's
didn't,
not how. That's not how you pronounce it.
doesn't matter.
Scimitar. Scimitar.
Clint,
Scimitar.
didn't you see somebody dressed like this go somewhere in the town? Wasn't there another person like this?
Are you asking Glint?
Yeah, that's why I said Glint.
No, sorry. How are they dressed? Like, what is so?
Conglomerate.
Oh,
Like the guy we saw.
So the guy you saw the day before and you walked out and talked to, the stranger.
Yeah. The
No, this is that
well,
same day, isn't it?
yeah, this is the same day.
Yes.
It was actually
Right.
like just a little bit before that. So yeah, he is dressed similarly to the old wizard that kind of briefly stopped in. So
Yeah.
everybody saw him. So
But it's not the
everybody
same
would have
guy.
been able to make that connection.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
Castria is asking
looks
you
similar.
because you're the only one that followed him to know where he went.
I just followed him outside and to ask if he needed any help. But yeah, I know. I know where he went. I could. I suppose I could head down there and ask him if perhaps this is somebody he knows.
Be careful, but I think if the Denisovans are after these men, then maybe they might be able to help us against them.
Okay, well,
You've got a fancy hat. I'm sure they'll let you into the. You said it was the Hawk's Roost. Yeah, they'll let you in there. You've got
Are
a
we-
fancy jacket.
is this what we want to do? You want me to head down there and see if this individual could come back and perhaps identify this man?
I mean, I just know when I was found that I wish somebody had come to collect me.
Well, you're one of us now, so don't you worry about that.
He also may know
us.
more.
Yes, I think we
does this-
should.
Oh, good job.
This individual, or this is unconscious individual, do they have any sort of like seals or medallions or any sort of badges? Any sort of like iconography?
No, none whatsoever. And
Okay.
no apparent signs of a book or just robes, just clothing, just pretty.
And the robes are indeed are they the exact same? Do they just look like a similar
pretty
cultural
damn
style?
close.
Okay.
Pretty damn
Okay.
close.
So Glenn's gonna kind of clean himself up, and while he's cleaning himself up, he says, "Hey Albrecht, do you mind if I have a drink?"
Probably not the greatest time for any. Wait, do you say that like as in reference to the dead guy?
No.
Okay.
No, no. I'm saying like a drink to sort of just like
He says.
get my shit together.
He says it's probably good that you keep your wits about you.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Yes.
Dad said no.
Well, aren't you a tall drink of blood? I mean, water. So yeah, he cleans himself up and then he heads on down the road to the Hawkeries to look for this guy they ran into earlier.
Okay, and I would say that the wounded guy's down over this way in this corner. I have yet to find his token because I am a bad dungeon master. And then once he leaves, the rest of you kind of remain.
Castria is
Yeah.
gonna remain to try to tend to the injured person. I don't know if anybody else should go with our resident, not a vampire, but
I think
Definitely not a vampire.
someone that's very charismatic.
I mean, Lynn's not bad.
Who could that be?
Well, clearly it's got to be one of the bards.
Yeah. Though I do have a 16 charisma.
Why not both of us?
A very socially aware party.
Get the band back together.
Let's go rock
Both-
them out.
Both bards.
There you go. I'm gonna open the sack and see what they packed.
Sure. So the bag's filled with coin. Appears to be of a Denisotvan mint. Looks like you're looking at about 30 platinum pieces.
Platinum.
Yeah, 300.
What the
total.
fuck was she doing with
Gold pieces.
that?
And
Really though.
the dagger on examination passed oh shit grab and go looking at it as you kind of pull the blade from the sheath. It appears to have an ornate handle that appears to be stylized like a leaping flea. So the handle is actually just a bunch of feet downwards with kind of the hooks kind of turned up for the pommel, and then the guard is like the flea's torso or
Wait, so
carapace.
both of these things were Denisotvan then?
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, because aren't the blue cells just giant fucking fleas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, dang, I should have looked at the house more.
That woman was getting paid off by the Denisotvans.
Or the Denisotvans. Nah, that's stupid. Never mind.
So is it just like a really decorative dagger, or does it look like it is a dagger with a very specific purpose?
Like a decorative dagger.
Mm.
But yeah, you're down here in the basement with a number of the agitators. So you have a couple of folks we haven't met. Lana is the magely looking one at the table. She's seated with Melina, who is the kind of more swordsman-y, sword lady looking one. Then there's the elf scout Cliver. She's over in the back there. And then you would have been helped by Anusha and Kasanti.
Who was
Good.
who was the scout?
Cliver.
Fiverr? Okay.
She's an elf.
I don't know if it'll work right now, but I want to send Cliver to that guy's house. No, not Wainwright. What's his name? Sir Victicus. I want to send him to Sir Victicus's house
Okay.
to just see if anything strange is going on.
She nods and she'll head up.
And then shit, what were we doing at the houses? Yeah, we were investigating. So we found this man out of the wreckage of the Denisotvan ship.
Okay.
We don't know if he was prisoner or if he was journeying with them.
Was he part of the ships that were attacking the ship? I mean, I only caught a glimpse of it when we rushed out there. But it looked like there was something going on over the stout wood. And frankly, it's... Yeah, a bit unnerving to know what they have up there on the mountain.
Indeed. I truly do not know what to do here. Do we just wait until everything is calm again? Do we strike?
People are probably going to come around asking questions. So got to be prepared for that, just like last time when we dealt with the scouts. It's unless you have another idea, some kind of method of us dealing with this a bit more directly, but I can't think of anything. Can you?
I think right now all of their energy would be focused on the battle over there with the ships. But we are too worn and damaged to go to the Sepulchre's barrow. I think we should wait until this man wakes up and then try to get information from him.
An idea of why he was on that ship and why he's not one of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Glint is going now to find the strange traveler that has the same clothing.
Anusha, Asanti, keep Castia safe as she's applying her magic there. They both kind of nod. You got it. And any of you who want to stay here and keep an eye on her while she's handling that, so much the better. Kind of gives Lotte a look like, I'm not gonna try and command you, but
I've got her.
but yeah, the others will kind of just settle in like nothing too much strange has happened. But at a point, as everyone's kind of figuring out where they're going, so this would be after the bards plus Glint leave. She kind of walks over to the cellar door, shuts it, and you see her kind of draw a line around the door frame, and then kind of move back. And those who are more perceptive can see that she's put a fine silver string around the exterior.
Nice.
But yeah,
Is
anybody
this
else?
the door to the basement?
Yeah. But yeah, anybody else have anything they want to do in the basement before we move to the traveling outside to the Hawk Roost?
No, Orlando's will just wait. I'll just wait.
Lose?
No, just keeping an eye on things.
Cassia, obviously you're busy. Okay. Alright, well you find folk who are heading on out. So the area around what you know as Hawk Roost, it's not right on the road. It's actually a good distance away with no real path leading up to it. And it's kind of in an open area compared to the more patchy forests of Midtown. You would note that there doesn't really appear to be a way to get up to the building. It's like it's saddled on a large rock that's kind of strangely shaped, set out in the middle of a field, with a wooden balcony off of the side of the wooden rock and a house built on top. If that makes sense. That being said, hold on a second here. Bear with. It'll be completely pitch black. And I will move. Oh. Volgar. And Glint. So you kind of just approach it from off the road. And as you can see there, it is pretty massive. It's actually about 20 feet up. And then there are walls around kind of parts of it that go a bit higher than that, some 40 feet up. So it looks very well defended. And there doesn't really appear to be any means for folk to just kind of walk up to the door and knock on it.
Is this right here the wooden balcony?
Yep. So it's about 20 feet up. It looks like there are like footprints around the bottom, in and around that area. Like that's where they lead to from off the road. But yeah, you don't see any means to kind of like get up onto that space.
Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of circle the I guess the perimeter of it, looking for secret doors.
Does not appear to be a single one.
Okay. Then I'm just going to say, all right,
So about
you two wait here. I'll be right
well,
back.
You said you're searching the perimeter. Let's go ahead and focus on Balgar and Astrogoth as they're kind of positioning themselves not in a walking around the perimeter mentality. What are you two doing?
How do you think we should do this, my friend?
Sorry. This is a wide open field
Yeah,
leading up to the thing.
correct. It's a pretty decent sized open field.
They're gonna already know we're here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a massive kill zone. They're also probably aware, as you watch Glint kind of walking around inspecting the structure, they're probably well aware of the circumnavigation of their establishment.
Best we head for the front entrance then.
What appears to be the front entrance is up on this balcony.
That's all I got.
Okay. So then, after a few, dozen or so minutes, Clint arrives back as you two are kind of staring up at the balcony curiously.
So they went around to the back. Oh wait.
You would have circumnavigated by this point. So you said you walked.
Oh
all the
no,
way
sorry.
around.
I was just checking the perimeter of this balcony.
Okay, it sounded like you were checking the perimeter.
No, not the
for
entire
secret
building.
doors.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah, that your
No,
wording.
I'm not
was-
checking the entire base of the entire structure. Just
Okay.
where
There are definitely
most
no
obvious, like,
secret
point of
doors
approach.
on the balcony.
Okay. Because, I mean, you implied that like the footprints walk up to the
Yep.
ground floor of the balcony, and then
Yeah,
that
the
were to
balcony
disappear.
is raised, so they kind of move underneath the balcony and then
Okay.
disappear.
Oh, got you. Sorry, I was under the impression it went down to the ground, but
No,
that's fine.
Balcony is 20 feet up.
Okay. So yeah, following the trail of the footprints, looking for secret doors, Glint finds nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Balgar and Astrogoth went around to the back.
No, that never happened.
To
They're
the
also
front.
looking at the
We
balcony.
discussed going towards the front of the thing.
Right. Glint says, "Well, I didn't find any hidden doors, but I should be able to climb up there." I think I think time is of the essence.
It's a wide open field, lad. They see us, whether
Yeah,
you
that's-
like it or not.
That's fine.
Probably best we try to just talk to them, see how that goes.
Okay. And he looks around. Do they see anybody?
No.
Yeah. Glint just kind of gestures to nothing. He says, "Be my guest."
I guess what he's trying to say is he wants us to be the distractions, my friend.
That's fine.
Oh no, I'm not trying to sneak in. I just this individual is badly wounded, could possibly be dying. I don't think now if this individual we're trying to find is a friend of his, I don't think now is the time to try and take the slow approach. I'm hoping that these people inside will be understanding of the circumstances. It's not like we're trying to break in. We're just trying to notify them that a possible acquaintance of theirs is in trouble.
What is the likelihood that Astragoth would be able to discern that, like, how on edge these people would be, given that an airship had crashed earlier in the day, not that far from here? Like, obviously, I imagine people are going to be on edge everywhere.
You're a smart guy. Yeah, I mean, like, I think your question delays, like, what you would probably just know. Yeah. That it's probably not going to be a situation where it's like, the sky is falling, let's have guests. You know? It's definitely a hard shift. Is that a fair answer?
Yeah, no, that's a good answer. So Astragoth strokes his beard and he's kind of like, well, the way I see it is, given they're probably going to be on edge, if we show up unannounced, unexpected, surprisingly, that's probably not going to end well for anyone. So we should probably make haste, to your point. They already know we're here, so I guess let's just be honest and blunt when we get to the door, and we can take it from there.
Right, but getting to the door is the problem. Well, I mean, for the two of you, like I said, I should be able to get up there, okay?
I got a pair of legs. They work just fine.
So, do you fellows mind if I can go ahead and climb up there and knock on the door?
Sorry, I was starting to see. I thought to myself that I may have taken fly as a spell, but I did not. So it's. I mean, it's honestly probably our best bet. We can. And there's not really a way that we see right off the bat for us to be able to get up there as well.
Not that you can see, no. Non-magical means don't appear to be afforded here. It doesn't look like there's any means of kind of getting up there in an easy fashion.
So I could spider climb up there, but I'm gonna quote unquote disguise it a little bit. I've got a grappling hook and 50 feet of rope, so I'm gonna throw the grappling hook up there using my mage hand to secure it.
Okay, onto what?
The edge of this balcony here.
Okay.
And then
you test it to see if it's secure?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
That's not the response you want.
Got an 18.
Okay. Successful. You feel this jolt snap through the line, kind of ground into the earth. You actually see kind of like a bright spark appear on the ground as it kind of courses through your body. You can feel it kind of move through you. It doesn't seem to take hold as you kind of reflexively kind of loosen yourself with that Constitution saving throw. But you're pretty sure a solid, shocking jolt just passed through you into the ground.
Oh, that was well, wasn't expecting that. He kind of like shakes the rope, and just like shouts up. He says, "Hello, hello! If anybody can hear us, I think a friend of yours is in trouble."
No response.
I'm gonna test the rope again.
Yeah, I mean it's secure. You said you secured it.
Okay, so no shock this time?
No, just seemed when it
Okay.
first connected, it created the ground, and that disrupted the arcana.
Okay. Well, that was shocking. Okay.
Get the fuck out of
And he
here.
starts climbing up the rope.
He's trying to come for my job.
Okay. You climb up the rope, and then you hop over the railing, I assume, when you get to the top?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and place yourself where you presumed you climbed up.
Yeah, he probably would have done it like close to the rock face so that he had a little bit of extra stuff to work with.
Sure.
So right about here.
Okay. When you come over the rail, you see that there is a coil of rope that looks like it's about where some of the footprints were. It's kind of seated neatly around a very kind of secure stone structure that's kind of settled into the wood. Inside the center of that coil is a very ornate looking longsword with a silver blade. And when you first land on the actual balcony, it jumps with a magical ching sound as it kind of lifts up into the air. It then spins and points its blade straight at you and looks like it's ready to start hacking at you. So bear with me here for a second as I throw out an initiative table and a dancing sword.
Sorry, Chad.
Wait! Would you all like to go after me?
You're not even there. But I think the answer is yes, since you're not.
Alright, here we go. I'm going to roll initiative.
So
Don't
bards,
do it.
bards and the like, you can go ahead and roll initiative, and so can you, Clint. During the first round, you'll obviously be surprised, all of you.
Great.
All right. Okay, so Astrogoth, you see kind of fly up into the air, and you're kind of taken aback for a second as you see it spin and kind of start swooping towards your ally. It will swing at Glint. It'll miss as you kind of, whoa, dodge and duck. And then it will go to Bulgar being surprised. Then Glint being surprised, and then Astrogoth, it's your turn. It's floating at enough of a height that you can see it. It's kind of like you can see through the rails, and you can see kind of above it as well. I would say because of its angling with the ground, it has cover, so +2 to its AC if you're planning on attacking it. Or not.
Let me see what I have for spells. Nothing that would honestly be super helpful here. Well, I never thought I'd do the sword, but I guess that's where we're at, so.
Alright.
Remember, you get 2 dutes.
Yes. Thank you for the reminder.
That'll hit. That will miss. Okay. You throw up
Sour note.
throw up a bolt of force. The first one kind of catches it on the pommel, causes a couple of the leather straps to kind of unbind, and then the other one hits the just underneath the balcony. Kind of a loud kind of crash. Doesn't seem to deal much damage to the wood, but that's where it hit. The sword, right before it flares again, you hear loud footsteps. Oh, oops. No, hold on. You hear loud footsteps coming from inside and rushing out onto the stone structure outside. She yells something in Draconic, and as she says the words, the sword kind of just stops and then flies all the way to her in like a split second, and she kind of catches the sword in the air, looking at
What'd
you.
she say?
In Draconic, return.
Hmm.
And as she kind of holds the sword, she looks at you. She says, "You'd best have a good explanation. If you're a town
Yes,
goer, you'd know the Hawk Roost is members only."
I'm not from around here, but there was an individual that came this way earlier. I believe a friend of his is gravely wounded.
She steps down the steps, holding the sword in her hand. As she kind of stands there, holding the sword, she kind of lets it loose, and it kind of floats behind her. She then kind of raises her hand and snaps her finger, and you see that swords in the other 3 coils of ropes lift up and then fly behind her, so that they're all kind of situated in like a sunburst behind her. And then she crosses her arms. Name him.
Oh, well, I didn't catch his name. I was just asking him if he needed any help with anything, but he said he had everything under control and he knew where he was going.
She turns her fingers up like this. She just kind of like does one of these, and the swords all kind of move to point towards you. I think you should leave.
That's quite all right. Just
If you're
If-
looking
if
like
you
you're
see
tall,
this
she
man-
starts stepping forward, and the swords start kind of moving past her, like not quickly, but like in an intimidating way. If you're not starting down the rope,
he kind of hops up onto the balcony railing and then like squats down and starts climbing back down.
Okay.
And then as he's like descending, he just shouts, "Have a nice day."
if you over here from your descent down, you'd hear the same kind of magical noise, kind of popping 4 times, and your presumption is that she's resetting the swords in their spots.
And he like hits the ground, mage hands to get his grappling hook back.
There's
And
actually,
then he
when it kind of comes off, you can see like a static discharge for a second as it kind of pulls it away. It doesn't do anything to you, but yeah, you get your stuff back.
So he like, puts it away and then he says, "Damn. Didn't even catch her name."
As you're kind of down on the grass, the thing that kind of keeps on kind of, you're not sure if you were hearing things or if like you were genuinely hearing something, but you swear you heard the most sweet stringed instrument coming from inside of the space when she opened the door and came out to you. Like there was this battle music that's not, present in our, stream here, but that when she came out, there was like music to the space behind her that seemed to kind of be pushing her on to the fight or to the confrontation.
So what is having your own theme song a boon?
She has her own theme song and also control over 4 cool swords. But
I
yeah,
think I'm in love.
That is pretty cool.
Hot.
Glenn looks back at the bards and just like shrugs. He says, That didn't go anywhere. There was the sword belonged to this lovely woman up there, but she didn't seem like she was in the mood for conversation. Apparently some sort of band was playing inside. Great music, by the way, but nothing compared to the 2 of you. I'm gonna go ahead and use my second wind.
you're still wounded from the fight.
Yeah, I am still wounded from the fight. I just saw that I still have my second wind and I haven't used it yet. And we haven't taken the opportunity to take a short rest or anything, so.
Yeah. But yeah, you regroup with your bards.
Says I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. I mean, if you guys want to keep looking for a more proper way of ingress, I suppose we could do that, but they don't seem very welcoming at this time. She asked me to name the individual, and I did not.
Well, getting a name would probably be a good start.
That is true. Unfortunately, the individual back at the tavern is he's
Yeah.
unconscious.
Yes,
Perhaps
you
when he
She will.
awakens, we can return with the proper information.
Okay, so you retreat back away from Hawk Roost. No other ideas, Joe and or Zach?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I mean, is there any sort of etiquette for like formally challenging somebody to a battle of the bands?
Now we retreat back.
Okay.
I challenge you to a showdown of the Scalds.
Those of you who are still inside, as Cassia does her work, he does seem to start coming to. When he first is kind of awakened, Albrecht is keen on kind of pressing him for information, but states that he doesn't want to, if he does prove to be an ally, scare him with such forwardness. So instead, what Albrecht does is he groups up a couple of the individuals who are more oftentimes seen kind of in the bar, the more commonly kind of present folk, not the ones that are always down here. He takes them with him back up to the bar to kind of make like everything's going as normal. Leaving Castia, Lose, and the two that I said were watching over Castia just in case, to remain down below. And he
So he's
kind of,
awake.
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
he kind of looks at you with like groggy eyes. Who in the hell are you?
We were going to talk to somebody, and then there was the ship. It crashed, and then you were in the dirt, and
Wait, say that last part again.
dirt.
Now, sorry, the part about the ship.
Yeah, it crashed, and there were a lot of people that didn't make it, but
Was anyone on the ground hurt
um,
by the ship?
yeah, several,
I can only apologize.
the whole family.
But I won't lie, I am very happy for my success in this.
Success.
Aye.
For almost dying?
Well, the ship you said crashed. I'm hopeful that the primitive nature of the Denisotvin's engines caused it to detonate.
It didn't
I-
explode.
I wasn't conscious for that part. I was already well within my being knocked out. So good. If the ship crashed, the ship crashed. I succeeded. What of my compatriots? The 3 ships, they didn't enter into the crash site space?
No, there was a bigger Denisotvan ship that kind of blew one out of the sky.
What?
It's really big. I've never seen one that big before.
The scene cuts. So this is about the time that the Bard and the like are heading back. And so for you, visually, what you're seeing is the larger ship appears to have dropped off a number of smaller things, and then it's kind of started moving back towards the mountain to continue to return to its position up there. But it does look like there were things sent off of the larger ship, much smaller, kind of like almost kind of like boarding, or not boarding, kind of like landing craft on a larger boat, down to check the wreckage of the conglomerate ship. So that's what you would know. And then kind of snapping the scene back into the interior, he would say,
I'm sorry, the wreckage was a Denisotvan ship.
wrong ship. There's 2 wreckages.
Oh, the conglomerate ship crashed more out in the woods.
Right, the one that was shot down in the Stout Woods is in the Stout Woods.
Got you.
Yep.
And the ships depositing the sort of boarding craft
It
were
deposited
also,
the craft, and then it kind of moved away, the big ship.
but were the ones that deposited craft were also conglomerate?
Hold on. You seem to be very confused. Let's focus. Very large Denisotvid ship that has yet to be named. Came down from the mountain, shot one of the 3 ships, moved over the wreckage of the ship it did shoot after the other 2 escaped, deposited its own craft, and then moved back towards the mountain. The ships that it deposited are not conglomerate. They are definitely Denisotvid.
Got you.
They are
Denisotvan investigating the
Just
wreckage.
small.
of the conglomerate ship they shot down.
Correct.
Sorry for the confusion.
No problem. So that happened outside, snapping back onto the interior. So he kind of looked at you like unnerved. A larger sky ship. And the other two, did they get away?
Poofed away-ish.
They were able to slip. Good. Good. All right. Well, I don't know how I'm going to report this.
You should rest. Report later.
Sure. Of course. I don't disagree. I'm in no state. I don't have any power within me to even attempt it. It's, as I remember Ruben always saying, it's important to make sure you're ready for a conflict before you push into it. I will.
You just said Ruben?
He did.
Okay.
I have some friends that might want to ask you some questions about that ship later, but I told them to make sure that you were better first. I didn't patch you up and have them drag you all the way back here just for them to shock you back to sleep.
Yes, right. I'm willing to answer any questions you have, but I will be straightforward with you. I am a conglomerate operative. I know that some folks out here in the Westerlands feel that they have been abandoned by the conglomerate. And I can't argue that point. You look young, so you probably are not too familiar with the political turmoil.
That's okay, I have no idea what that means.
You look ancient, so you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, he says below say.
I look what?
Ancient. And out of character, quick note, like, not a bad thing for elves. Not a bad... But if you want to take it as an insult, you can. He did not mean it as an insult.
Remember, she's been living around humans for 150 years.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that.
I look what?
He kind of ancient.
I mean, if you want to kill him, that's fine.
No, we're not killing him.
I challenge you.
That must
you dying man to a duel.
I don't
that must be conglomerate for looks very nice.
You always are sweet, aren't you? It is a saying, but I don't like to look old.
I apologize then. I did not mean it that way. What I intended by it, milady, is that you look like you are wise and
she is not wise.
Knowledgeable.
Actually, look at my sheet, John. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry.
Is Orlandis upstairs or in the room?
This is in the basement.
Yeah, no, where's Orlandis?
Oh.
You're
Orlandis?
down there.
Where do you want to be?
You're in the basement.
Oh, I'm in the basement. Okay,
Unless you
okay.
want to be upstairs.
He took the mage and the other sword fighter.
Okay.
I apologize for the yawning, by the way. I'm not
It's
tired.
okay.
It's just,
You're human.
It was a rainy day.
yeah, my body is tired.
Those two weeds.
I did do no weeds. It's illegal.
Just energy drinks.
I wish I had an energy.
Is that gamer girl booty sweat that you're drinking?
Yes, it is. No, it's so the cup is. We're not doing a plug for another drink that I'm just drinking on stream. We had way too much fun with the Coca-Cola coffee. We do not need to go back to that.
Okay.
It's Gamer Subs. That's pretty good. This
You said gamer subs?
supplements.
Subs. Okay. Gotcha.
They have this stuff called, oh god, we are doing an ad. It's called
Promo
Guacamole.
code John Loves Gamer Fart.
Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000 is the name of this. It's gonna come in like not at all because green screen, but it tastes just like Baja Blast. But I'm not currently drinking that. I'm just drinking water.
Okay. Okay.
Anyhow,
Buy
Yeah.
yours now at your
Anyways.
local convenience store.
so you would overhear
Cannot buy
the
it.
you would overhear the
Oh, never
dialogue
mind.
that's happened here, Orlandis. You have history trained, correct?
You heard the
And
bird.
Lose,
What's
you
that going
also
to
have
guess?
history trained, right?
Uh,
Am I wrong in that?
Hold on. Let me
Ooh,
read.
yeah, that's right.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so both of
We
you go
can
ahead and
do
make a
a s-
history roll.
Okay. I
I'm
was
a
about to
smart
ask.
girl, not a wise girl.
We can do a skill check, not a skill check, trick, right?
No, well, it's not so much that. I'm just a name was mentioned that
Oh,
might
okay.
be a name you're familiar with, depending on your role. So
Mm.
Lose being kind of more from here, and Orlandis being from Parnak, you're not really cognizant of kind of stuff that's going on here. But Lose, you've overheard Albrecht say prior to Orlandis' arrival that he wished that the new conglomerate Warfront would ever come out this way. It was said in passing way early on in this kind of rebellion, the agitators' onset, and it was dialogue between him and the mage, Lana, that
So he does want conglomerate.
yeah, well, conglomerate's great.
Yeah.
But it was mentioned that the new front commander for all conglomerate efforts in the area was an individual whose name was Ruben Nyrel Brunali, who is a conglomerate operative, or operator, more specifically, which means they're more higher end than just a standard operator or operative. So this is
We,
He's more
effectively-
like in charge of the operation, calling the shots.
yeah, effectively the commander of
Mhm.
the efforts in this area.
We there was a man that was dressed like you that came here this morning, but I guess was afraid of us. But I sent my friends to go see if they could find him. I thought since, we found you in the wreckage that maybe contacting somebody would be helpful. Hopefully they'll be back soon.
Lana comes out to meet the bards and Glint as you're kind of moving up, and kind of acknowledges you. And the door, you kind of go into the basement if that's where you're headed when you arrive back, and that would be about now is when that's happening. And the reason why Lana did this, you would know, she set an alarm to ensure that the people down below, if they were accosted, she'd be aware and they could attack them from behind, from outside.
So I guess as they descend down into the basement, and Clint sees that this guy's conscious, says, "Oh, hey you're finally awake."
Where's
Nod.
his friend?
Aren't you
It's,
supposed to go find him?
Yeah, that went south really quick. They well, I was kind of in a hurry. I figured time was of the essence considering how badly wounded this guy was, and well, they didn't take too kindly to me trying to go in through the front door.
Have you considered that you might be cursed? I mean, we tried to go to the house and a skyship crashed down on it, and then you tried to go up to the front door of that building and you got attacked. Maybe
I don't know. Why don't you ask the vampire? He's right behind me.
Yeah,
For now,
can't you fly?
No.
I was asking the vampire.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. And Glint turns to the individual who just woke up, and he says, "This individual that stopped by earlier," and he gives like a brief description of
Yeah.
what he looked like.
And just as he was about to answer the question prior to that, he will state, so everyone hears it, I do not know who you're talking about, and there shouldn't be any operatives in this area, at least to my knowledge.
Interesting. So you're with the conglomerate, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Could
So
there be operatives? Like, could you get them here?
No.
Oh. But you guys don't like the Denisotvans either, do ya?
We've been at war with them for the better part of a decade to 2 decades. Yeah.
Well,
A while.
when you are, so this individual I described does not sound familiar to you?
No. Again, like I said, there should not be any operatives present in this region.
Right.
We were sent after a ship that was escaping us across the bay, out of Penford. The individual had knowledge which he was not supposed to have. Ruben gave clearance to our 3 sky ships to head that way, and I was put forward as the only one capable of teleporting onto a target moving that fast. I got onto the ship, sabotaged the engine, killed the captain, was unable to make it to the informant that I was seeking, and then I was assaulted on the top of the ship. I lost consciousness quite a bit in the conflict. It's barely hanging on to the railing, as I remember a very sharp descent, and reactionarily casting Featherfall on myself before slamming into darkness.
Well, that was a smart move.
Just a training kicking in.
Do you have any means of contacting your people?
No.
We were just talking about that.
Is he alright? He says to Lose.
Well, that was a
We-
conversation
we
that was happening
honest-
before Glint arrived.
No.
Yeah.
It's fine.
He's
You're still covered with like wounds and stuff. You haven't rested. Is he all right? He's gesturing
Yeah.
towards that, not your lack of cognizance.
we still need to rest after some traveling we've been doing.
Yeah, I killed a dragon earlier today.
She did today.
Yeah.
It's been a very long day.
This isn't involved.
No.
No,
No.
but I did. Just to
This-
explain the day is
It's
there's a
been-
dragon. My
There's a
cursed
ship.
friend brought a sky ship down. He got stabbed some more, maybe. I don't.
No, he didn't do that. I did that. That was me.
Right. Okay. Only
What?
partially cursed. Sorry.
I just don't want you to take credit for my obviously glorious achievement.
Yeah, it's really awful when people take credit for other people's work.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you like to stay at least for the night and heal up
Well,
or get better?
I would love to. Actually, yes, that would be splendid, of course.
Do you
But-
think you can walk?
I should be fine. Yes, I'm more than capable. It's not so much physical need, more an arcane one.
Would you prefer this cot or a bed upstairs?
I'll be honest. The second you stop talking to me, I'm going to go into meditation and work towards passing out. So,
Okay.
I'm fine here.
Okay. We will have a few more questions at least later, but for now, just rest up,
Of course.
get better.
Of course. Thank you, by the way, everyone, for helping me. Did they try and move on the ship when it crashed? The Denisotvans?
Almost
were-
immediately.
Where are we, by the way? Is this Card End?
Yes.
That's what we were hoping to avoid. Unfortunately, we weren't able to beat it past the Stout Wood.
There are many of them in the Stoutwood.
Many of who? The Denisotvans?
Yes.
in relation to the big ship?
We
Or-
saw that the big ship is near the mountains, next
Okay.
to the stout woods.
But you said they're already in the woods. Why were they in the woods? Is there something important there?
Was
I
where
don't-
the dragon was?
The dragon that
Yeah.
she killed and points to Cassia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It's all coming together. Were they in league with the dragon?
No.
That would
So-
They did. I don't think that they actually knew that it was there. They didn't get that deep into the mountain, but we did,
be okay.
and then she killed it.
So I
It's
know
a
the
lot.
moment.
You should rest.
Go ahead, Chad. Go ahead, Chad.
I know the moment has passed, but when I described that individual and he said he didn't know who that was he lying?
You can roll an insight check to see if it was you're unsure about it, but you don't know whether he's lying or not. Insight's not detect.
Well, I
lies.
just. Okay, that's fair.
Fair.
Um,
You can make an insight check to try.
I'm really I'm trying to see if that sort of description aroused any sort of familiarity or surprise or anything.
Insight it up.
So 16.
Yeah, so his tenor and his kind of just nature has not shifted once throughout the entire conversation. So as you hear him say that, the words he said before that are in the same kind of tone, kind of, nature. The only time he's shown and again, it was before you were here, the only time he's actually shown any kind of emotional reaction to a statement was the larger ship, the mention of the larger ship.
Could we ask your name?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. It's no, not a problem. Langdon.
Okay. All right.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Langdon.
Yeah, likewise. Prefer to meeting Lamac. I'm enjoying it. So, what are you, some sort of resistance or something?
Exactly.
Huh. That's great. That's great. It's good that you're fighting out here, and again, I stress on behalf of the entirety of the conglomerate that we're apologetic and sad for your current state of affairs, but we're unable to help. Not in a way that would help.
Well, that seems kind of unfair. Didn't we help you?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's absolutely unfair. And I can try to help you, but again, so far the questions you've asked, I don't have the answers.
And they have been fighting him for 10 years, so
Yeah.
You don't have to get into it now, but would you be privy to any information about the Lycoy family and the Denizatvan relations?
Who? Sorry, I'm not familiar with local politics. Is that something important here?
The Lycoy family is a family of power that is holding up in one of the towns nearby with the Nizatvan forces as a stronghold.
Okay.
We just wish to know what exactly they're doing.
Well, if
There.
you can get me a crystal ball, a silver mirror, or a font filled with holy water worth 1,000 gold pieces, I can probably see if I can't look in on them for you tomorrow. I just need time to rest.
Yes, this is okay. We will work on that. I do not know if we have that on hand.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you had that, that would be great. Are they some sort of nobility present here or something?
Yes, they are vassals of the Denisothans.
Yes.
Well, I don't have any means of connecting with my my command, so I suppose if you are, what are you planning?
we're still working on the details there. Is there, just as you requested specific materials to perhaps look in on them, are there specific materials you would require to contact your people?
No, I don't have the ability to do that.
Okay.
We can come back to this. For now, just get some rest. And then Orlando starts heading up the stairs.
I'm more about. He would say that I'm less about the evocation of the efforts of magic, and more so about the seeing of it. The technique I employed on the ship was a bit more of a conjuration than an evocation.
You lost me when you got specific.
Fair. I'll explain it in a common way. I teleported in a very direct fashion, moving myself from the deck of my ship to the deck of theirs at high speeds. I'm not boasting, but I'm sure just teleporting is probably a skill for you, or something beyond your ken if you're just a typical rabble. But I assure you, what I did is very impressive. Once I arrived on the opposite side...
Where does it rank compared to killing a dragon? Just because I need a frame of reference.
I'll be honest. I am quite taken aback. Your healing has proven very impressive, and the fact that you were able to manifest the White Winds to aid you in destroying a dragon is tantamount to probably being on par. But my next effort was something that I definitely displayed a bit of ingenious nature to. The skyships of the Den of Sotvins are kind of focused on air elementals being bound to their craft and making them fly. It's an old technique that they learned from dragons. So, utilizing conjuration magic, I created an earth elemental, dead weight, inside of their furnace room where their engines are powered. It's served two purposes. Purpose A, it caused the fires of their furnace to be muted very quickly by the weight of the stone. And the second is it angered the air elementals and the bindings nearby because they really hate earth elementals. And so the entire back end of the ship, I assumed was, and rightfully according to your reports, absolutely destroyed. So
what you're saying is that we need earth elementals to take down the big ship.
If you give me time and can get me into its engine rooms, I am confident I could probably summon a handful of earth elementals to help with that. Whether or not you need my assistance at all, I do understand that your current situation is probably dire and seems very important to you, but again, not to seem like I'm belittling that. The matters that I deal with are a bit more... It affects more of the Dynas than just this town.
Big picture versus small.
Yes, again, I'm not trying to... I would love to help you in whatever I can. Especially for, your gracious rescuing of me and everything. And my lack of knowledge of the individual who's dressed like me, so you assume we all know each other. And so I'm just focused on seeing how I can repay you with that.
Well, I say that eventually, maybe, taking down the big ship would benefit us both.
I agree. And it's probably something that's currently being discussed by Ruben and the Council of Operatives. But
that would be great. If you could just crash it right into
the Lightbearer family.
Just right into the manor.
That would be fucking spectacular if you can do
Kill
that.
2 birds with 1 stone elemental.
I'm not trying to... okay, real quick. I do want to try. I did put on an amazing display of crashing a ship, and apparently for you folks saying that it caused some issues for folks down below, that was not intentional. That I did not have pinpoint accuracy and ruin the lives of those individuals intentionally. That was not a goal.
It was an accident, yes.
Okay,
Right.
I understand the nature of chaos.
But if you can do it intentionally,
No, I don't think I could.
Okay.
I could certainly try. There could be an effort, but again, I wasn't intending on crashing into Card End, and I crashed right into the middle of it, from what it sounds like. So,
yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
yes, sometimes intentions miss the mark.
So now we have 2 objectives.
Oh, Joe Orbic.
Joe.
Joe. What happened to Joe? Oh, he's gone. Joe.
Man, I was kind of looking forward to getting some Kool-Aid Man action, but
That would be cool.
Keep discussing.
So we still need a plan.
I think we should try to speak to that individual again.
Which individual?
The one in the Hawk's Roost. The one dressed as a conglomerate.
Oh. Well, I don't have a way in there.
We could ask Albert. Maybe someone has an inn. To the inn.
I don't know. They're pretty exclusive.
Does anybody have notes on who the members that you know are?
I think one of the members was Victicus,
Yeah, and we were gonna go talk to him.
but he didn't open up the door.
No, the ship crashed before we could even talk to him.
Oh, true. Yeah, we
And then
could
we
try
went,
and go
oh
again.
shit.
We could try again.
Wondering what crazy shit I can make up to stop you from doing it this time. Joking, joking. Victicus and who else?
Varnador.
Oh yes. Who's
Those are
that?
the only 2 I have listed.
Varnador is the head of the family that lives near the house on the lake. So the place where the Kuato were fought.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I feel like we can get an in with Varnador. Maybe. Do we want to split the party and send a couple to Varnador and then a couple to Victicus?
We could.
Same groups?
That split?
Yeah.
Sure.
Alright.
I'd gone to Victicus previously.
Yeah. It was Lasse, Orlandus to Victicus. I think no, Castor went to the farm.
Yeah.
And we could take.
Well, wherever
Not
Astrogoth goes,
possible.
I'm just gonna throw a Volgar on there
okay.
for the time being.
Arctic buddies. Band buddies.
Band buddies.
Or we could all just go to one spot.
Because it was stormy.
Make it easier.
It was stormy in Indiana, and so that means the specific town he lives in exploded.
Dang.
You know what?
It happens.
Yeah.
I
Like
think-
it's pretty choppy here.
I don't know if you've ever been to that kind of Indiana. But yeah, I didn't know it was snowing. That's cool, I guess.
Oh, snowing over there for you too as well.
Yeah. But it's not even. See, the weirdest part is like. The fuck is snowing outside? It's like 50 degrees. No, it's like 35 degrees now. What?
Yeah, it's 35 degrees here.
Okay, cool. man.
Yeah, it's
End of
raining
the
snow
world.
here, so it's just like a pile of slush everywhere.
Yeah.
We got a storm. We got a weather warning for over the weekend. Huge nor'easter.
Oh, exciting.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, you folks in your side of the world are used to that kind of shit, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you should be good. Because you're way up there. It's memory serves.
Yeah, Demi-Canadia.
That's what Radijov said. That's what...
Where'd Joe go?
He exploded. We were just talking about him exploding. Are you?
We should probably all go together as a
Are
group.
you
I imagine.
okay? I love you, Chad. I'm gonna give you the biggest hug, buddy.
I think we should probably all go together. So when a skyship crashes on the next house we visit, we
We can be
we don't
ready.
have to come together in the middle of that chaos.
We'll go
So
together, but we'll be spread out.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Both
Yeah,
places at the Muncie Mall.
the fireball defense. Got it.
All right.
Now known as
So-
the skyship defense.
Are we going to Victicus's house, or are we going to the other guy? Forgot to say. Shit.
I think we should go to Victicus's house first,
All right.
since we had already planned to go.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's all go to Victicus' house.
And just a quick note before you do get on to moving. I just want to reiterate. Kavar Varnador was the individual who Ballfield and Co. rescued
that's
from
right.
Kuatoa. So I just want to make sure
He's
that is
already
on the table.
kind of already on our side.
Yeah.
Oh, he's also right there. I thought he was further up north.
No, everything in Midtown is like a hop and a skip, and you're right in the middle of
Yeah.
it, so it's not even that bad.
Well, I thought it was like up here near the windmill or the
No,
water.
that's a watery grave filled with Grothics.
Yeah.
What were the name of the monsters again?
Kuatoa.
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 I don't know why I have.
But what about the Uwu Toa?
Kuatoa.
No.
Oh god. I need to find a clip from the Slayers real fast.
All right. So instead of going to Victicus, we're gonna go to Varnador.
No, I'm sorry. I have to. I'm gonna explain the clip without even watching the clip because it's in my memory. They have Lena
Sorry.
Inverse captured and they're torturing her because she has like knowledge of what they're looking for. And the way that they torture her is they have the fish creature, whose name Nunsa, kiss her on the face with his fish lips. That's the torture. And the whole time the mage that she has beaten the crap out of every episode before that is just like, ah, like, absolutely, like, yeah.
I still need to watch the show. It's finally on Crunchyroll now.
Absolutely. She's like, Sass back now. You can't say anything. It's hilarious. And then afterwards, Nunta's like, because he's a cute little fish man who gets burned and dies. Anyways, spoilers
so he
done.
is the Uatoa.
He is the Uatoa. So Varnadors. If you're heading up that way, you'll pass by Victicus's and head up that way. You'll also pass by the crash site. Over the duration of the kind of back and forth, everything that's been happening, you will note that there does appear to be a patrol of Dennis Otbins at the crash site. They don't seem to be kind of warding anyone off or like doing anything kind of protective. It's almost like they're standing around the ship, just making sure no one tries to enter the ship as if someone's inside of it at current.
Okay.
And there are also some people who are kind of back this way, near where the initial crash impact site is, looking around there as well. So there's actually two patrols, one on the back end and one on the front end.
Okay.
We should be
Some
fine.
like rubberneckers, like.
Well, yeah, you're probably not the only common folk who are passing by on the top common. I mean, it's a relatively, like, up the Watermill Lane from the Ragnet down. It's a pretty common area, and they're keeping a wide berth because of the crash, but, you know, there's still other folks out there. But, yeah, you make your way to Varnador's. Let me go ahead and move you. Or try to here. Hold on.
I believe in you.
I believe in me less.
I believe in a thing called love.
Just listen to the rhythm of your heart.
Power of friendship.
Oh, that's some spicy music.
So you would come in from the south. The road actually splits at this point. The road on the left is actually the road. The road on the right just appears to be kind of a deviation.
I can see nothing.
You're good. We're getting there. We're good.
Okay. Theater of the minded.
But yeah, you would see that the lake, as discussed, is very, very beautiful and also very, very deep. It's not really a full-on lake, but it's also not a pond, so it's kind of somewhere in between. So for lack of a better terminology, they just call it a lake.
Yeah.
You can see that there are, still fish inside of the lake, and you would know the fish that are in the lake are purposely placed there, raised and cultivated by the Varnadors. Yeah, but you see the house. You would kind of have an idea that the front door is kind of right off the road, up that way. So if you head over that way, is anyone not walking up to the front door?
Oh, I don't know.
Is one specific individual you want to be the face of the group in this interaction? Of course, it's not a battle map or anything. I'm just putting it there for visually pleasing.
I feel like it's either the strength of the bards or someone with authority.
Are we allowed to swim in this lake?
You can try.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
We found the
Okay,
Uwatoa.
Hezrod. Yeah. Okay, Hezrod.
You would also notice that the house is very interesting in that it has kind of a stone bridge that leads to a small island in the center of the lake, and then there's a house or structure kind of built up on that.
Nice.
The bridge is old, as is the structure on the lake, as is the foundation of the building, and a lot of the walls. The weirdest part about the house is that the side in the middle has a number of different flues that come out of the top of it that are all kind of smoking different color smokes. Not like a bright, crazy difference in colors. It's kind of like a beigeish colored smoke, kind of like a light gray smoke, and then probably the third one has kind of like a light kind of bluish smoke. On the exterior, you can see the typical, things that a house would need. Firewood, chopping, wheelbarrow, nice potted plants. Some of them, some of the pots kind of look like they've been kind of cleared of their whatever plants that they had. Others growing quite nicely. You see one of them has, sunflowers, but all different types of kind of horticulture kind of going on here on the exterior. Doors closed, even though in map it's currently operating as if it was open. But you're walking around on the patio. It doesn't look like anyone's noticed you or anything.
We knock on the door.
Okay. The door opens. A slightly older than middle age, but not like really old man. Jernarin opens the door, kind of looks at you, and says, "Oh, hello. Did Albrecht send you? Is there something else you wanted to follow up with regarding the matter the other day?"
The matter of the other day was the Kuatoa.
It's probably what it's referred to, yeah.
Okay. I'm totally blanking right now, but what did we come to talk to him about again?
If you don't want to be the lead, you can shift to the side. It's all right.
I'll shift.
Alright. I guess I'll talk.
If you want. Or, you could also have one of the bards do it.
They ain't up here.
Well, Zach's probably just not moving his miniature. It's more theater of the mind at this point.
Let's have the very innocent, not at all menace ask for. Hi, sorry, we one of my friends was trying to find somebody at the Hawk's Roost, and they don't take very kindly to unexpected visitors. So Albrecht suggested that we come talk to you to see if maybe you could help us find somebody in there.
Well, I'll be completely honest. My membership with Hawk Roost is a private matter, and it's not something I really like having known. I don't know how you came across this knowledge, but I do apologize. I really can't be very helpful with that. What you were looking for? What? I'm sorry. What did you say again, Miss?
There was a man who stopped by the Rusty Blade and then wandered off, and we found one of his friends, but the last place we saw that man go was the Hawk's Roost, so we were trying to help this man find his friend, because you know how I like to be helpful, but they didn't take very kindly to trying to find the friend. So
Okay. Well,
I'm just trying to be helpful. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm sorry if I offended
No.
you. I didn't mean.
I'm sorry. It's just it's a private matter, and a lot of what goes on with the Hawk Roost is private to the members. And well, I just again I didn't really want to get them involved with what you've got going on with Albrecht and everything, and it's just very confusing.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not about all of that. There's just a man. I'm trying to help him find his friend.
Well, I do know that there is a measure for you to attempt to be noticed by the members of the Hawk Roost. And as a member myself, I suppose I could attempt to administer the test for you. But it is very much important that you understand that you are being tested before I employ it.
What kind of test?
Oh, sure. It's a very simple test. It's knowledge based, an understanding of what you're capable of, and also a connections test to see what you might be affiliated with as bringing something of interest to the group.
Oh, I don't have very many connections. Just farm people. That's probably not very useful.
No, yeah, so it probably won't be you. Kind of looks past you to the others.
We do have nobility amongst our ranks.
Well,
Would that help?
That would be a good satisfaction of the second aspect, but the first aspect is of utmost importance. Our membership is very focused on the arts.
Magic.
We have that as well
Of course.
amongst our people.
So then I would be willing to administer the test to one of you, whoever you feel would be most worthy of satisfying these tests, knowing that you will be tested.
I'd say Balgar. Balgar would be good.
Yeah,
right?
but Joe's not here because his internet
Oh, yeah,
exploded,
true.
so I'm not
Okay,
gonna-
alright.
Yeah.
Astrogoth
And
would be good.
also, Joe had his scene in the limelight with the whole fucking dwarven place, so it's okay that his internet exploded because
Okay.
I love you, Joe. If you ever watch this,
Astrogoth would be our guy then.
All right.
so regarding your connections, do you have any affiliations, be they material or external, that you feel would be worth bringing forward and would be beneficial to the members of Hawk Roost?
First thing I'm thinking of when you ask that question is, well, I am a warlock. I do have a rather external source of power that might be useful, but
I mean, that's an option.
I'm blessed by the willingness of my ancestors in the past to help with the events of the present. They may be of some use, and I do have connections here and there as a bard or one of.
A traveling performer.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's satisfactory, and the power of your ancestors. I don't know exactly what that means, but that sounds like it might be worthy. Okay, great. And then regarding the mastery of the arts, can you create art?
Man, you should have seen the ghostly spirit I made.
That was you?
What?
Oh, who else did we lose?
Chad.
Chad? No?
Oh, he's
Okay,
back.
he's back.
It was a ghost.
It was.
Of course I can create art. I wouldn't be very good at my job if I couldn't.
A display. For me, that was satisfy me as being one to vouch for you in this regard.
Yeah,
Leander is
so
gonna give him a wide berth.
so I'll I guess for shits and giggles, I'll essentially pull out my my lute
Record.
and I'll start to sing a song of a lover or a man who loved a woman, but he was never noticed by her. And as he plays the song, I'm going to cast invisibility and just disappear while still playing the music. And then when the song ends, kind of just end it and be like, ta-da!
Reappear with like a sad look on your face, so it's like poignant.
Yes, tear running down my face.
Well, let's see how. Because honestly, just on like a short description, that sounds like
Performance.
college art house crap. But like, if you want to, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. Roll. No, it's very poetic. I like it. I was just being facetious.
Toxic.
Roll a performance check, and because
Toxic as fuck.
of the application of magic in the implementation, I'm going to give you advantage for this.
Oh,
Okay.
oh yeah.
Looks like you got a 20. So it moves our friend here, Kavar, and he kind of says, you implement the manipulation of the winds in your art. A lot of performers are capable of doing this, but something about your use of specific spells, very, very good. Yes, I'd be happy to take you with me to the Hawk Roost and vouch for you.
This is excellent news. I almost channeled, for some reason, I was thinking of Bill and Ted, and I almost just said, this is most excellent.
But I'm okay with that.
It's just how vampires talk, man.
It's a great series of films right there. The Bill and Ted, excellent.
Oh, I still need to see the third one, actually, now that you mentioned that.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's pretty
Sterling review.
pretty good. I liked it a lot. But anyway, if you kind of back and forth for just a couple moments, he shuts the door after explaining he's going to go ahead and get himself ready, and then he's going to open the door and come back out, and him and Ashragoth, and he explains one person of your choosing can be granted as a guest once you are given membership. Since it is your intent to gain membership, you can have one person be your guardian in this regard. If you wish to choose one person to come with you, you can, or not. I'm okay with it either way.
I would think thematically the best person to probably come along, because they have, keeping in mind that I'm really more of a stranger in a strange land still at this point, and they would have more of an understanding of what's going on, would probably be Orlandis.
Orlandis? Okay.
Would that be an incorrect assumption, though?
Your assumption's your assumption. I'm not going to tell you what's right or wrong. You're living your life. Okay. So you select Orlandis to come with you. And the two of you head back down the road after he locks up his house, sees everybody else off, and heads with you two down to Hawk Roost. The others, where are you heading to go to?
Seeing that everybody's concluded their business, Glint kind of comes up out of the water and like shakes himself off and like gets dressed and puts all his stuff back on before following them back out.
Okay.
He's not really in the mood to like strike out on his own right now. He's just going to stick with the rest of the party for the time being.
Got
It's
it.
probably a good idea if we stay nearby, just in case.
Okay. So they head down. We'll go ahead and move us back to that map.
Like in the area of the Hawk Roost.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. I never
Yeah.
gave Hawk Roost its own music.
Oh, what a waste.
What a waste.
You even described beautiful, angelic music coming from them.
I did.
We can play a tribute to that song.
Absolutely.
Astrogoth.
Gain inspiration for that.
If you well, if you happen to see that girl from earlier, just tell her I'm sorry for the disturbance.
Of course, my friend.
Are you being friendly on her?
So Varnador
Glint blushes.
makes his way to the balconies. He kind of moves towards a specific spot and then kind of raises his hand out and says a word in Draconic. If either of you two speak Draconic, he says, "To me," and when he says "to me," you see a ring on his finger, on the hand that he's holding out, kind of glow a slight green. Like not a bright flashing or anything, just like a soft kind of pulse. And when that happens, a kind of almost like a static pop sounds above you, and you watch as a rope kind of comes up over the rail and just descends down. He grabs a hold of it, gestures for you two to grab a hold of the rope as well.
Okay. We're right there, or
Yeah. Well, you'd be under here, but the point is you're
okay.
making your way up.
Yeah.
He grabs a hold of the rope, and he gestures for you two to grab a hold of the rope as well.
Yeah.
And when you
We do it.
the rope ascends upwards, you holding the rope, and you think that like this is going to be kind of straining on your ability to kind of hold onto a rope, but strangely it feels like there's something underneath your feet that's just kind of keeping you in this strange kind of almost like you're holding an umbrella up kind of position, and the rope ascends upwards until it deposits each one of you with a kind of a coil and then returns back to its wrapped position around the ornate sword. You would see that kind of seated not too far from the door is a woman. She looks to you strangely, but mostly focused on Astrogoth for whatever reason. And as she looks to you, I mean, you're kind of looking at her kind of brown, kind of reddish hair. She looks like this, but she doesn't have a sword in her hand at current. Kind of bluish purple eyes and kind of dressed to fight or sit about if need be, whatever the mood strikes her. She sees you approach. She looks to Varnador and says, "Friends of yours?" He says, "Hi, Marla. This is kind of gestures towards Astrogoth. It says Astrogoth. He has been introduced to me due to friends in town, and he is quite skillful at presentation and connections as well." Marla says, "We're not currently taking any new members. I apologize." And then you hear a voice kind of from inside the building kind of speak out, "Astrogoth, was it?" And you see a Kenku in kind of purplish robes kind of step out. Older Kenku, some of the feathers in their facial area kind of present.
Plumage.
But specifically kind of like around here are kind of more kind of pulled out, and there's a bit more kind of down around the face, kind of like a wilting of the feathers in and around the head. And she steps forward and says, Astrogoth, was it?
Yes, that is me.
I've heard tell that you are a person of interest in the town. Someone who's performed here and there. More specifically, you've been granted certain privileges regarding performances in Endbarrow. Is that right?
That is indeed correct. They have allowed me to perform there for the soldiers, and I try not to make a stir when I'm there.
That second part that you stated, that is the most important part. Because it's my understanding, pointing straight at Orlandis, he and his are causing quite the stir.
It's always easier to give a performance when the crowd is not as rowdy, I've found, but...
Yes, that is true. But the company you keep sometimes can cause for rowdiness. What say you, Arnon?
Orlandis would take off his helmet and rest it at his side and do a slight bow, and he'll say, "It is true. Ours have been more rowdy as late.
With
But
with what intent?
to free the people of Carden."
A noble cause, to be sure. But a foolish one. As I'm sure you are aware in your short time in this town, you've had little success.
It is difficult.
But do you think it's strange that others have told you that it's been much worse in the past?
I do. I feel it a little odd.
You are causing quite a bit more of a ruckus than we would like. Eyes are starting to appear where we would not want them. You are causing us issue. Your efforts, though they come from a good place, are disrupting the efforts that are already in place. The reason why the town is currently not laden with Denisovans as it was in the earlier portions of our occupation, or their occupation, is due in part to the members of this noble house. Tell your compatriot, bar owner, if he truly means what he says and wishes to be serious about this, I will entertain him. But Varnador, you said this one here has gifts. You wish to induct him as a member? I, just confused by everything and seems to be kind of nervous. She nods. His answers were satisfactory. Come, Astrogoth. I will show you around.
Alright, I will look over at Orlandis and kind of give a brief nod and then follow them.
When she leads you in, she tells you, my name is Kronosov. I am one of the leaders of Hawkroost. We are a secret society that dates back, some 200-300 years early in Carden's history. And we were very, very upset regarding the Denisatvan occupation. However, unfortunately, we were not here for it.
Orlandis is outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you are allowed to enter in. And
Oh, okay.
Marla does not stop you. If Astrogoth enters in, again, she kind of said it in a way where it's tell him if Astrogoth wants to kind of like secure you and keep you as his guard, as Carnador said
Yeah.
would be the case, then you can do that, or you can leave now and go talk to Alric. Your call.
No, I'll urge him to follow.
Okay.
Yeah, Orlandis does want to learn a little bit more before heading off with just, you can go talk to this person,
So she leads you into the open space, and there is a woman, blonde hair, seated kind of up on a table, really, with just its regular kind of provisions, kind of off here on the side, and she's playing a stringed instrument, which you probably wouldn't be familiar with unless you think Astrogoth would have seen like a guitar. And she also seems to be, while she's playing the guitar, also playing some kind of smaller instrument that's kind of settled in her lips, a wind instrument that's kind of creating kind of sweet, but kind of high-pitched series of notes. Out of
What?
character. It's a mouth
A harmonica?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
What was the Kenku's name again? I'm sorry.
Chronosoft.
Chronosaur.
I did here.
Okay, thank you.
So she kind of entering in, you see this woman out there. There's dining seating for quite a number of people, and like a small little bar set up, kind of present there. But the only person in this space besides you and Chronosoft, and of course Orlandis, is the bard. She walks over to this spot here, and then gestures towards the quill and book, and she says, "If you would kindly just sign your name here, so that we know that, and we have record of you entering into this space."
All right, I will do so.
And Orlandis, you're obviously,
Yeah, gonna
requesting
sign
the
it.
same. She says, "This space is a very simple, very easy place to relax in. We will serve anyone who is a member at any time. The staff is ready to receive you at any moment. If you wish to express your art in a culinary fashion," she gestures towards the kind of door there, and says, "You are absolutely welcome to enter into the kitchens and do what you wish with the implements and food we have in the larder. The gardens you may have seen on the exterior. If that is your art, so be it. We have implements inside of the spaces below that you can access. There's also room for riders. Currently, our stables are shut. There are currently no creatures therein. But we've had times where we've had griffins, and even the most noble of horses, the Ronin from the Summer Elves." She kind of continues leading you around the space, and I'm just gonna, to simplify the kind of traversing of the space, I'm just gonna open up the map so that you can see the entirety of this floor. And she would explain, in the basement below is where oh my god, my brain's not working. Where the alcohol is located.
Hey, yo, this shit fancy.
And the food resources as well. She sometimes will like during the course of the conversation, and I kind of hinted at it in her kind of explanation as to the Hawk Roost membership, but throughout her kind of explanation of everything, she says she oftentimes hints at that Hawk Roost wasn't here during the initial Denisotvan invasion. It's just something that keeps on coming up in her verbiage that is very noticeable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably something I should ask about. So the next time she brings it up in conversation, I'd like to probably be like, so say something along the lines of, you keep on imploring that this place is new in the area, but
She says,
how?
No, I apologize. Allow me to explain. And she kind of leads you from wherever you are to the exterior, and she kind of gestures towards one of the strange-looking. It almost looks like a simple kind of just mill fan, like a windmill
Gotcha.
blade, and they're positioned from what you saw outside on all the corners of the space. She says, these devices here were presented to us a long time ago, as was the whole of the nature of this home, this manor. This is more than it seems to be. It is a ship, in actuality, a craft. We can move from place to place and go where we want. This field in Cardan's inception was known as Hawkroo's Field, and there was once a house in this field that served as our place of gathering, but it was destroyed by very unfortunate conglomerate individuals. So we have our issues with them. But there are members of the conglomerate that are amongst our membership, however. But the point is that this is not just home. It is a skyship.
I'm assuming that it's not moved unless absolutely necessary, however.
Correct. Yes, it is not like the skyship that fell from the sky earlier today, a powerful craft of war or anything to that effect. It is not fast, maneuverable. It is simply enough to get us from one place to the other and land neatly where we wish to go. Sometimes we've had interactions with the Flap Flap, the city of Flap Flap. We've traveled further on south and to other places they're in. But yes, there are a number of places in the region, in all of Janaris, really, that are mobile in this way.
So, if I may, the Hawk's Roost, it is not just a place of membership, but it is an organization.
Correct, of course, yes.
And
We
there are
are-
many.
Not as many as there were. Some of them defected, in part due to our stance regarding the Denisoppan invasion. A direct conflict like you and yours are interested in will only lead to repercussions. The Denisoppans are not exactly kind to those they perceive to have received a slight from. They are very keen on reciprocation.
Yes. So, I am almost positive Albrecht would wholeheartedly listen to you if you have any information, and I am as well. I wish to know how exactly
Well, I'll
you
be
know.
completely honest with you. One of your interests is mine. However, a lot of what Albrecht does draw attention to him. If the Denisophans were as keen-eyed as we are, or even half as such, they would be able to detect your band of, what does he call them, agitators? Without issue.
Yes.
Some of you are a bit more brazen in your efforts. Balthild, perhaps, is one to bring to the forefront. We watch. Some of us you may see in and about, and she kind of gestures back out to the front where you see Varnador kind of just standing around. Some of you see and know. Some of them, she gestures to herself, you've never met before. But we're here and we're citizens of the town just like you. And our hope is to make things better for everyone. From Marshtown all the way up to Lake Town. It doesn't matter. Peace is something that should be afforded to everyone, and our efforts have definitely proven to cause less Denisophans to be present. However, your efforts in killing the Denisophans that were left behind, unless done correctly, will prove to be more Dennis Otvins down from the mountain.
Yes. It could be done better. A lot of it is no fault of Albrecht, but mostly my own.
There is something that you are doing that I am very interested in, though. Looks over to Astragoth. You wish to enter into Endbarrow with purpose. And
Absolutely.
you have a means of doing that through Astragoth. And yet you have yet to do it.
We have no idea what to do once we get in. There are many things that I am good at, and many things that I am not. I am a soldier.
The Lycoy family's establishment, its home, is beyond our eyes. Most of Endbarrow is. I do know this. The Lycoy's connections to the Denisovans are not just superficial. They are more direct. There are matters in that house that will allow you to not only end them, but perhaps strike largely against the Denisovans writ large in this region. It is very important that you invade that home and do what you will regarding the Lycoys. But kind of reaches down into her pocket, pulls out some spell components, kind of manifests something through the prestidigitation, kind of like or a minor illusion rather, sorry. Manifests like a display in front of her. And you see what appears to be a book. On the cover of the book, you would see, very similarly to the dagger that you found, or that Lose found, on the cover of it is a flea, kind of in jumping, all of its legs kind of pointed down and kind of curled. And she says, the Denisovans have tomes, not unlike this one that we've seen, that grant specific knowledge to the reader, or that convey specific direction to the engineer. It is well known to us that several of these tomes have maneuvered from the Lycoys upwards. You know that the Lycoy are actually quite competent artificers, as well as stewards of the grave. A fusion of arcane arts meant to disrupt the flow of life, or pervert it, along with mechanism. In fact, it wasn't too long ago that a monster hunter attempted to infiltrate the Lycoy home.
Do we know anything about this monster hunter? Are they okay? Are they okay?
They have not exited in a month or two, I believe.
Wait a month. Okay.
But he too was a member of our consortium.
Do you think the Denisovans are holding him hostage?
I cannot tell you what his fate is, other than he attempted to enter into the Lycoy manor and has not returned.
Okay.
If he is of interest to you, even more reason for you to invade the manor.
But when is the best time? How do we...
Again, our eyes on Endbarrow are not enough for us to tell you how to do what is necessary. But we do know that it is necessary. If you wish to make your efforts less a sporadic bursting of pissing off Denisovan patrols and causing arguments with bandits in the south, in Marshtown, then have purpose.
I think our main purpose is to stop the Lakoy, or get rid of the Lakoy family from this region.
As you're kind of, again, this is probably talked through like walking, but you kind of make your way back into the central hall, and you would see that as you're kind of coming into that space, a guy is walking back inside. Looks like he's coming in from the gardens when you see him kind of passing by the window, and he kind of enters into the hall, looking to you two for just a second, and you recognize him as the gentleman who walked into the bar, confused, like
Yeah.
told to get the fuck
Yeah.
out. He kind of gives you just like a candid kind of look, and then kind of makes his way back to the dining hall.
Shit. Could we, could we get him to come over here? We may have found one of his fellows.
No, I'd hope not. She says.
Is he not conglomerate?
He is. Where did you find his fellow?
In the wreckage of the ship that came down. We believe, we know that one of the conglomerates sent their men to sabotage and take down that ship.
Well, he's a member. Gestures to Atroth, as are you. There's nothing barring you from talking to him like a person.
Yeah, Orlandus will just go and try to flag down that man.
He's sat down at a table. Looks
Okay,
like he
and
is.
This is the dining hall?
Yeah, just in there.
Alright, cool. I'll go in there, and then wherever he is, I'll try to connect with him.
Bunch of tables, or bunch of chairs at the tables. He's sitting at one of them. And you maneuver over that way. Astrogoth, you stay with Chronosoft or follow up?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess I'll sort out Orlandus here for a second. You walk over to his table and he looks up at you. Hi. Nice to see you again. I
Hello.
didn't anticipate you to well, I didn't recognize any of you anyways, but can I help you with something?
I believe we can help you. One of your members, the conglomerate, hold on, let me find his name 1 second.
It's Langdon.
Langdon. We have found a person by the name of Langdon in the wreckage of that Denizatvin ship.
Doesn't have anything to do with me.
Is he part of the conglomerate?
The name, it's a pretty common name.
Okay. Is there any chance we can get you to talk to him, learn more about what exactly he is doing here?
He kind of just blinks, kind of confused. I don't know you, and you're asking me to meet with someone who I also don't know to ask what exactly?
I just wish to know more
A
about
plate is
his...
placed out in front of him with food on it, and a cup filled with a beverage by an unseen servant, and then it seems
That's cool.
to kind of maneuver away. He looks to you and says, if you want to talk to me while I eat and explain yourself, I'm more than willing to listen, but as you can see, I'll be quite busy, unable to speak for a few moments. He says as he kind of throws a, his napkin on his shirt and starts kind of going to work with the cutlery on the food in question.
Okay. I'll tell him. I'll tell him what exactly it is we're doing, what we found out from Langdon. And whether or not he is actually conglomerate.
Well, I presume he would say, like, as you kind of explain it, I presume he's conglomerate, as he says. I mean, those sky ships were definitely conglomerate. But again, I don't know what that has to do with me.
Now that it comes to light, I guess not much, but
Yeah.
is there anything you can tell us or tell me about why the conglomerate and the Denisathrans landed here,
Well,
of all places to battle.
I can't say for certain. I presume that the 3 sky ships that attacked the one were intent on doing what they did and successful in that regard. Now, the aftermath of that's probably not what they were interested in, but it was interesting for me to see.
Is there any way you can give me something so he can contact his superiors?
I'll meet with him
Okay.
at the tavern that we met at first.
Yes, the Rusty Blade.
Fine. It's near the church, right?
Yes.
Great.
I am sorry to bother you, but
Well, I'm gonna finish this first, and then I'll be over.
yes, this will be fine.
Great.
I appreciate your time.
Astrogoth, as you have thrown us off alone for a bit, do you have any questions or anything that you want to ask or talk about then?
Not that I can think of at the moment. It's a lot to take in.
So you kind of just banter and just be your absolutely awesome self. And she's personable. You learn that she is keen on history, but more so in like long ballads of like historical figures. She is a very large fan of doing those, and she also studies. She studies in a way that she tries to, using her innate Kenku mimicry skill, to try and generate an acclimated voice for whatever story she's telling. So if she's telling like a Parnan tale, she'll do it in a very Parnan voice.
Oh, I do have a question about that.
Okay.
So this is involving the species Kenku itself. Are there Kenkus that can only mimic voices, or do they all have their own voice?
They all have their own voice,
Own voice? Okay.
but their
okay.
voice is found by them. They could be whatever they want, though.
Okay.
Some of them do really enjoy crackers more than others, however.
And Polly's got, or Polly
Is that
wants.
racist?
I don't know. They're not, and they're raven kind. They're not parrot.
I guess it depends on how they are in the world. I know a lot of people just tend to have Kenku be just like generic bird folk, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Also, Tom, it's not racist, it's speciesist now.
Sorry.
There are actually 3
I haven't
primary
updated them on
bird.
D&D. My bad.
There are 3 primary bird races or species in my campaign setting. So Kenku are flightless, and they're
Mhm.
they're Crovan. They're also known as Crovan, which is like a crow person. Then
Could
there are
there be a blue jay Kenku though? Because they're in the Corvid family. Because that would be cool.
sure.
Whatever. Just stop asking questions.
There are also on Kenku a subsect of them known as Tengu, which are not flightless, but basically the same.
Okay.
Then there are Aarakocra, which are just kind of generic bird people, like you were saying. And then there are the Owlin, which are owl people.
Can they also, look 360 degrees?
Now, some of them, again, not Owlin, are barn owl-esque.
Okay. Gotcha.
We say owl a few more times.
Owlin.
Owlin.
Just need 21 more
Sure.
minutes of this, folks.
but the mystic woman told me that I would have to be on the lookout for someone who had been turned into an owl.
She is not an owl. Oh my god, baby cat.
Wow.
So at some point, Orlandus would return.
Okay.
Just looking a little bit more defeated, but it's fine.
More than fair. Playing in my game. That's all I do. But yeah, if you have any other questions or concerns for Kronosov? Astrogoth, you are now an honored member of Hawk Roost. What that affords you is access to Hawk Roost. And she would explain that they don't meet often, but she hands you a ring. If this stone glows red, return to Hawk Roost immediately from wherever you are. And if this stone glows yellow, arrive at Hawk Roost at your earliest convenience.
Okay.
Okay. On your way out, Varnador would obviously be very pleased in, the apparently warm reception therein. And you're free to leave or just bandy about and do whatever you want here.
I don't think there's anything specifically more that we need. Did you want to do anything more, Orlandis, or should we get back and let the others know what we've uncovered and everything?
I think we've gotten all that is more than necessary from here. Miss Kronosov, I do appreciate the hospitality, and I am sorry for the agitators' inconvenience.
No, of course. But again, if you are going to do something, and she says a Parnan expression, which is basically translated to shit or get off the pot.
It's fair.
Okay.
Defecate or remove yourself from the chamber pot.
It again, out of character note, it just seemed that the Hawk Roost's perspective is obviously one that's a bit more kind of laser
They're
focused.
more covert.
Well, it's not that. They're very much laser focused on the goal. Again,
Yeah.
you are very much focused on the town. So there's other things that you want to do that are not just that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
don't think that you're in the wrong. It's just that, again, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just that
We have to be more focused.
you're talking to people who are wanting you to be more focused and less problematic for them.
Okay.
You don't have to do that, though. You can
So,
be problematic for them all you want.
for the sake of clarity, would Glint have known that James Abbott was a member of the Hawk Roost?
No.
Okay.
You're gonna find out though.
We are
100%.
going to tell you.
We are telling.
His
Prepare
secret?
for the info dump.
None.
But yeah, once everyone convenes, and Orlandis will wait until we get to the Rusty Blade to, throw everything on the table, including the Kronosov wanting to meet with Albrecht.
Okay. I don't know who this is.
Oh, we're there already at the Rusty Blade.
Yeah. That's you.
Oh, okay.
And you said you were going to tell Albrecht everything, right? Or is
Yeah,
that-
yeah, we're telling everyone everything.
Okay, but we don't have to reiterate that. So we can. Everybody's there for it in the basement, having it out. And then he says, "I don't even know who that is."
It seems to be the leader of this Hawk's Roost that is here in Carden, but she does wish to meet and discuss, plans and whatnot. She has. Oh, you go first.
She says he says, "I suppose help from wherever we can get it is fine." It just sounds like they have a lot of power, and it's really annoying that they didn't present themselves to us sooner.
I think the main point she was trying to get across is that somehow the Hawk's Roost has been able to stop Dennis Arvins from entering here. I did not get into the specifics, but if this is true, that is very, beneficial to us.
Well, they very much. I mean, they're not wrong. We have seen less Denisovans present here, but that was due in part to a lot of the issues going up north with the Ionian riders and the like. They're moving their forces to that effort. That had nothing to do with us or them, right? It sounds like they're claiming that they're responsible for.
I do not know much about this organization. It may or may not be true, but I think the best we can do is for you to meet her, at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah. Was she thinking now or?
At your earliest convenience, I
It's
suppose.
not 10 o'clock. Stop it. Do this every time.
But yes, I think at your earliest convenience.
I'll go.
Really.
I'll have a discussion with her.
I do suggest at least taking one other person.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't want them to think that anyone besides me is responsible for what's been going on. If they have an annoyance with my efforts, then I will suffer that myself. I do not want anyone else to be present.
You're gonna put a hand on his shoulder. The fault is not just your own, my friend.
I hired you. I know that a lot of your capabilities and a lot of your guidance has helped us get to where we're at regarding everything. Success more so than the small amount of failures. But it's not your fault. It's mine.
I do wish you the best of luck in Hawksroost.
Yeah, it'll be fine. What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Oh God.
Oh no! He said the magical words! Where's the wood?
Let's do it. Let's
John
go.
asked
He
him-
died.
John
He
asked
died
himself-
a lot.
John's gonna ask himself, so do you go in?
Let's go. No.
I guess.
And then I tell Glint about his mentor being stuck in there for a month or two. And his possible, his definite membership of the Hawksers.
Right, like him being missing in the barrow for an extended period of time doesn't surprise him, but explaining that he was a member of the Hawk Roost is immediately like, what? What? Well, if Albert, you're going to meet with them,
I am.
then I shall accompany you.
I was invited.
That's fair.
Oh. He was specifically invited. I do not think there are any guests.
But don't think I harbor you any ill will, or I'm trying to bar you from information regarding your associate. But, from the sounds of it, these people are very serious, and if they're true to their word, very capable of very serious political machinations. I don't want you to come with me and be affiliated with me after what I have done. She's not wrong. I have definitely caused problems from the Denisovans. We blew up that bridge. We fucked some patrols up. I mean, just today. Just today.
Today alone was a shit show.
I do not want anyone present to be affiliated with that in the eyes of people who can be perceived as allies, or that could be capable allies. So I'm going to go alone. Regarding your access to Hawkroost, he kind of gestures to Ashragoth. You said that the other guy, you could bring a friend, right?
Yes.
Well, if that's something you want to do at another point. and you want to help Glint in that regard, so much the better. Orlandis, we haven't
Yes.
had much time to discuss it, but I want you to start planning for a possible raid on the Lycoy Manor.
I will.
Whatever assets we have available to us, we'll put them towards that,
Okay.
and I'll be back. No, really, I'll be back. I'm serious.
We believe you.
Mhm.
Okay. John wouldn't do that. You guys like Albert. I mean, Joe specifically said, I really like that guy. I would never do anything bad to him.
Which means he's gonna die.
I would never.
Not for Joe.
I
So
would never.
at that, Orlandis is gonna start mapping out what he knows about Sepulchre's Barrow with Astrogoth's help, and then, and also Glint, because he was there,
Right.
investigating and whatnot.
Yeah, he
And
knows,
then
he knows about the secret broken wall that they've been kind of
Yeah.
guarding.
Orlandis will try to make up a map and try and help us. Should I roll for cartographer's tools?
You can. I don't know what that would be for. I mean, you're just kind of.
It's map making. That's it.
I mean, if
Just
you
let
want
me
to.
let me roll it because it's a useless fucking tool proficiency
not.
otherwise.
It's not.
Whoa.
It's not.
Wow, you just slandered the shit out of Elizabeth. Wow.
Also, in game, it can be useful.
mean-
Remember that one episode in the last campaign, like
Yeah.
third episode in, that you guys spent like an hour talking about
Ah,
trying
Yeah.
to get a fucking map?
Cartographers are useless. Great map presented to you by Sipaku, a great cartographer in the community, sales tower, GTRGBGs, and then of course, like the really cool map that brought to you by me of the Durnaris region, regardless, it's in parts of Lake Town when we get to it.
I didn't mean
it's just-
cartography in the real world.
No, it's
I meant
just
the cartographer's tools in
There
game.
was still a whole hour of discussion.
That is
about
true.
A fucking map in
That
the last
is
campaign.
However-
100%
Congratulations,
true.
Jonah. You have gained proficiency in self Gravediggers tools. Way to go. That's a free proficiency for you. Nice work.
But I will say this,
Nice.
Orlandis, a quick note. So with cartography tools, what you can do is you can actually map out the path that led you to a place and give that to people who need to go to the place that you want them to go to. A good example or use of that would have been when you're like, oh, we're going to leave these, Duergar here, but we might need them to come and help us. Here's a map of how to get through the Stoutwood the way we came through, and also where we're located in Midtown.
Sure. I
That would have
could
been a great
done
use of it. Another good use of cartography tools could be, we need to get to that location, like, and through the mine. I know how exactly to do that because here's a map I drew of the exact dungeon. If you wanted to send someone after you to get to the
Yeah.
Duergar to, try and get their help.
Okay.
So just
Okay.
saying, it's not
I can still do that.
it's not useless.
To send people to the Duergar. I can still do that.
It's super useful. It's a really good skill. Just
Okay.
unfortunately, for the recipe purposes, it doesn't present any benefits like smithing tools.
Yeah.
Because you are the recipe.
Right.
Found the recipe.
Okay, so just to kind of focus in, obviously the planning for the Lycoy is present. There's also some notes that are kind of left blank in Albrecht's kind of notation there, stating possible entry in Tarn Mine, ?
Sure.
Possible entry in one of the forts, Carver, Cleaver.
hmm
It does seem like he had a lot of the same leads that you folks kind of came up with no answers or resolutions therein.
Yeah. But also with the two I think the camps,
Mm-hmm.
Carver and Cleaver
Forts.
wasn't the fort, sorry. They also had like 100 and something or 50.
Yeah.
There's 50 in Fort. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yep.
50
So
in Fort
it's
Carver and Cleaver.
50-50, and then the remaining 50 are about. So like in Enbarrow, kind of in Lake Town, patrolling your region. The 5 guys you saw kind of patrol, or the 10 guys patrols that you saw there, it's probably all of Midtown, like in its remainder from the murdered Blusa guys that were present. So
Okay.
you could have knocked them all out of Midtown if you just. Okay. Any questions regarding like anything that's kind of on the table, anything that you want to focus in on for the party, anything you want to kind of draw attention to, or is there any questions that you have of mine as my cat starts playing with the printer? Is
We
there anything that you want to like drive home in these last few minutes?
Mostly take a long rest, but
Yeah.
on top of that, we still need information from Victicus about Tarn Mine
Okay.
in order to,
That's a great
see
setup.
if there is something.
That's a great setup then. Instead of doing a long rest right off, unless you want to wait until tomorrow and do that. Okay, just let's put it there. Do you want to deal with the Victicus matter before you rest, or do you want to rest now?
I mean, if we can deal with the Victicus, I think before rest would be good.
Yeah, that's fine.
So say that's 2 votes for deal with Victicus before rest. Castia, Astrogoth, Glint, are you okay with postponing on the rest and handling the matter of talking to Victicus?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much help Glint will be there, but more information is always good. And it's not like we're in dire. It's not like we're looking down the barrel of a fight.
Okay,
So
perfect.
I think we got.
We'll go ahead and focus then. Next session will begin with the Victicus, and I will not allot you your experience yet until we get to that. Okay.
Okay.
We're sitting on a shit ton. I don't believe you've been rewarded for the dragon, the crash, and so on. So yeah, we
haven't rested in a
Yeah, we
while.
haven't rested
shit.
Why I
since
asked.
before the
If you
dragon.
wanted to take
Yeah.
a long rest, we can.
I mean, we kind of want that XP, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're gonna get it eventually.
Yeah, we could get a huge lump sum
Dude,
after
your call.
Victicus.
Last call. All right.
I'm gonna stay. Stay.
Okay, we're staying with the vote we got. Okay, that said,
Okay.
thank you for watching those that did, and we will see you next week when we pick back up with Session 8. See you then.
Bye.